It's Belinda. Today, I have sitting in the hot seat. That's right, sitting in the hot seat. And guess who's in the hot seat today? It is Tarun. He is here. Hey, how are you, Tarun?
Hi, Belinda. How are you? Thank you
I'm
so
good.
much for having
So,
me.
excellent. So, let me start with PN1 nutrition coach, certified personal trainer, entrepreneur, and tech and motoring enthusiast. Tarun, welcome to the hot seat.
Thank you so much. I'm already feeling it. It's quite
Is
warm.
it getting warm? It's
I'm
getting warm
feeling it.
already.
Yes.
All right, so I'm gonna start you off really easy with some easy questions.
Thank you
So
so
the
much. Appreciate
first
that.
question: how would you define a good leader or a good boss?
Good leader and a good boss. For me, those two can be two different people. A good boss may or may not be a good leader. And I'm just saying that out of experience. I've had so many bosses in my career. So, good leader would somebody that I would look up to, somebody who's an expert in his or her field, knows what they're talking about, and somebody who's a good role model that I would, as an employee, would feel that I can look up to this person and learn something from them. And this person is going to groom me, is going to take me where I'm supposed to be, and it'll be equally invested in my career goals. So somebody that I would really look up to, and somebody who's passionate about their work, and somebody who's mentally very secure, and not really somebody who would just be jealous if I uh, uh, become more successful than them, and somebody would just like really support me in my goals, like I said.
And have you had a good leader, or have you had a good leader before?
Oh yeah, I have. Like, I've worked in three different industries. I've worked finance, I've worked real estate, and I this is my third one, which is health and fitness. I've had some amazing leaders as my bosses. I've had the privilege of working with them, under them, and I've had some great learnings from my leaders.
Okay. How would you define a bad boss or a bad leader?
Exactly the opposite what I said. So somebody who's a boss because of some reason may or may not deserve that position, and now just has a very dictator style of leadership, and not really a follower style. Like, you will lead with your people. Somebody who's insecure, somebody who's not an expert of their field, like the captain of the ship is
Right.
like the person that you look up to. Somebody is completely opposite of that, and somebody who makes coming to work a nightmare. That would be a bad boss.
Okay. Okay. And you experienced that? Sounds like maybe you've had experienced that.
Oh yeah, I have. Unfortunately, I have, and that helped me to actually appreciate the good bosses that I had.
What did that bad boss or bad leader do that stands out to you right now that you're like, that's what made them bad?
Just like me dreading to going to work, and just to be in the same room as them, and not really understanding what they're saying, why they're saying. Sometimes there's no logic, and sometimes you cannot even have a meaningful conversation with your boss. It's more like just do this because I said so, or just they're probably you're just saying things that I would not understand, and they don't even want to listen to that. Just like very authoritative style of leadership that doesn't work well with me. So somebody who's not respectful of my time, or somebody who's just not invested in me as a employee, and was
Hmm.
just like going about doing their thing and not really caring for their team.
You said did accounting and you did real estate and now you're doing nutrition, correct? Three different
Yes.
careers.
Hmm.
How did you transition from one to the next? You started with accounting?
I actually wasn't into accounting. I worked with American Express. It was back in India. So that was my first job right out of college. So it was pretty new to that. So it was a lot to learn, because that was my background. I've done my studies back then, related to business and finance. So obviously the transition was pretty much natural. So I met again some amazing people. I was literally fresh out of college, so a lot to learn. And that I believe was a huge cornerstone in my success because I had the privilege of working with people who had amazing work ethics. So I knew nothing. And then fast forward, even when I moved to Canada, I still shot a email to my boss and realized saying that, thank you so much for grooming me back in the day. And now that I'm here, I am my own boss, and look, going forward, I'll be hiring more people, but I'm carrying that same work ethic. So, one thing after the other. Then real estate is my family business. So, transitioned into that again, working with people from different walks of life. People are investors, some people are, one of our first time home buyers and all those things. And fitness has always been my passion. So just, I had to be here. I came, found this as my passion and made a career out of it. Again, also worked with a lot of great people in this industry, and just picking up things that I could, incorporate in my life, in my coaching, and that would reflect into my training. So, and now I'm my own boss. So when I will be hiring people, I will impart the same things that I've learned in my career. If that makes sense.
Okay. So three different stages now. Did you ever have a good teammate or a good coworker in those?
Oh yeah,
in
lots of them. Lots of them.
And what makes a good coworker?
What makes a good coworker? Somebody who's a good friend on and off the job. So if you're at work, of course, you want to work with somebody who has a good work ethic, somebody who's professional. And what is also fun at work, because again, if you're with a company for 5 years, 10 years, then you want to have a good relationship at work, that you want to get out of bed and be wanting to meet this person. So when it's work time, you work. And when it's, time to relax and chill and have fun, you do that. So somebody who's like almost like your family, because you see them 8, 10, 12 hours a day, and they trust you, they're supportive of you. Again, the same thing, that they're not jealous of your accomplishment, they support you, and just work together as a team and create a good work environment.
Have you ever had a bad coworker?
Unfortunately, yes. I think all of us. What did they do? So again, somebody would just, be nice to your face, but not really, mean what they say, or somebody would, I don't know, it's everything basically opposite of what I said, or somebody who would just constantly try to pin you down and get ahead. And corporate is a very competitive space, so everybody's maybe fighting for the same position or for the next promotion or something like that. So a friend would really support you, and someone else would just step on you and get that promotion or something.
What would your last boss at American Express say about you?
I would say that I'm a good team member, and I'm an asset to the company.
Okay. What would they say that was bad or that you need to improve on?
That probably they made a mistake of hiring me. Or probably I was not a good fit for them. It's nothing personal. They're entitled to their opinion, and I'm entitled to mine. So sometimes the bandwidth doesn't match, and then you realize you're not a good fit for each other.
Okay. So if you had to come up with 3 references to say Tarun's a good guy, his work ethic, can you think of 3 names off the top of your head? You don't have to say their names, but can you think of 3 people who
Absolutely.
You would immediately say that
Without a doubt.
That's you're a good worker?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I know those people are still my friends, by the way. So it's that the relation has carried over the last 10, 12 years. So yeah, for me to pick 3 names, easy peasy.
Easy. Okay, excellent. Do you consider yourself a good leader?
Yes.
Why?
Because I've been there. I've been on both ends of the table. I've been in somebody who's looking for a job, is interviewing, and somebody who's also on the other side of the table interviewing people for a position. So like I said, real estate was my family business. It was a new company. I was a hiring manager. So when I was sitting on that side of the seat and I was interviewing someone, I know exactly how they are feeling. I know exactly what they're thinking, probably nervous and, trying to be at their best behavior. And, somebody who's I know has lied on their resume, or somebody who even did not even, put any effort to write their resume. I
Right.
could just tell, because I've had that when I was writing my first resume. I was applying my first. I was so nervous. I did not know what to do, but I just wrote whatever was my case. If I did not have any experience, I just wrote I did not have any experience. It helps me understand the person better. And I know what it's like to be an employee. I think I'm a good boss.
Okay. So let me ask you this. You've sat in this seat where you've interviewed people before. What was a deal breaker for you? You were interviewing somebody and you're like, there's no way I'm gonna hire this person. What did they do or say? Like, did they come in late, or you could tell they lied on their resume? Or what could they do that you'd be like, there's no way I would hire this person?
There's a pattern. So somebody who, let's say, is late for their interview and doesn't even have the courtesy to call and tell. Like, I can understand that you can be stuck in traffic or something can happen. Somebody is late, so of course I would look into that. Somebody who is not confident, not looking at me in the eye, and or just, I don't even have to look at their resume. I can just talk to them and just find out what's going on. And if they can't explain what is in their resume, or just their story, or just completely clueless as to why they're here, then that's a red flag. It's a straight no. I would not even bother with a lot of questions. I'll be like, thank you so much for your time. And I know you can relate,
Bro,
right?
I can relate. I can definitely relate. Have you ever, knowing you see red flags everywhere, thought, you know what, I'm gonna still give this person a try anyway? Have you ever done that? And did that person surprise you, or you like, I should have listened to the red flags?
I've actually been on both sides of the fences. So one time there was a person that I hired on instinct, and because the resume was not impressive. So but I felt that the person has a potential. And in essence, when you're the boss, you're looking for that person who has that zeal to learn. I can make you learn. I don't expect you to know everything coming for an interview, but do you have that zeal that you will learn on the job? Or are you just saying anything on your resume just to get hired and just to get a paycheck? So I have been there, that when I had my first job, I was not even, aware of how Microsoft Excel works. I just had like a basic understanding, and I thought I would never get this job. But how I presented myself in the interview, I guess my hiring manager liked that I had this willingness to learn, and I did, and I excelled in that training part, and I did really well in my career there. So I had the same incident when the resume was not impressive, but I hired the person on this, just my instinct that, okay, he has the zeal to learn, and they did. And then opposite also happened, that I was impressed with the resume. I was like, okay, it's a good fit. And the person is tardy, person is not professional, shows up late, or, you realize that they probably did not even have the credentials that they said they had. So that's how you learn, and
Right.
then you just streamline your hiring process.
Right. What is professionalism important to you?
Super important. Super.
Why?
It's a non-negotiable.
Okay.
I cannot work with you if you're not a professional. So you can be my friend, like I said, as a co-worker, but when it's time to work, you have to work. Like, if there is a deadline that we have to accomplish, we have to do it. If the time requires us to, just get our head down and just get this done, we do it. And then, of course, when it's all done, we've met our accomplishments, then we celebrate together. But professionalism, being respectful, using a professional language, showing up on time, being punctual, all those things matter to me a lot.
Are they deal breakers for you?
Major ones.
Excellent.
If somebody's not respectful of my time, that's like a straight no. Like, done.
I totally understand that. When asked the question, tell me about yourself, what do you say?
Tell me about myself. Okay, so I'm just like I said, just being very honest, very honest person, willing to learn, always, wanting to learn more, even if I've had experience in a particular subject or industry, I don't have that attitude that I'm like Mr. Know-it-all, although it may seem like that sometimes. But deep down, I'm like, okay, so I can learn something from this. So person who's trustworthy, somebody who's respectful, and just in professional terms, a good asset, if that's what you're asking.
Okay. And what are your strengths and weaknesses?
Oh, it's been a while since I was asked this question. Um, Strength is definitely that I'm a team player, and like I said, I'm punctual, I'm professional, I'm respectful. Weakness is something that I can, I may not know when to switch off. If I can be too invested in something and just take it like super seriously all the time. So that is something that I have struggled with in the past, or just not finding enough motivation. Like if it doesn't make sense to me, it doesn't, and then I would just ignore it. So I don't know if, like I said, it's been a while since I
You did
answered
good.
that question. You
You
can
did good.
tell, right?
Angela said you got this.
Oh,
So
thank you so much,
yes,
Angela.
Angela said you
Appreciate
got
it.
this. She's rooting you on. So
Yeah,
you
she's
have
wonderful.
two candidates who are equal. They have their resume both looks good. Their interview was excellent. They're both professional. What character, what little thing would make you pick one over the other? So they're equal education, experience. They interviewed well. What do you start looking at then to decide which one am I going to pick to hire?
I think I would be driven more towards the person who is more passionate towards that job. So I would be like, as an interviewer, I would like to know, why do you want this? Like, why are you here? Okay, so if it's just like, oh, I just want to get a job, maybe, okay, resume is impressive. The other person is like, oh, you know what? I breathe, live, talk, eat this day, all night. And I'll be like, oh yeah, that's my guy.
Mm-hmm.
I would pick that person. Like
You'll
even
pick
for
that.
fitness, it's like, yeah, it's not a job. It's something that you do, you just live this day in, day out, because work hours are crazy. And, it may not seem like work if you're so passionate about it. So I would pick that passionate person.
Okay. If you could pick one person to be on your team, not to hire, but to be a coworker, what all would you want that person to have?
I would want that person to be friendly for sure, because just the environment, unless it's an individual contribution kind of a role. If it's a role that requires them to work in a team, so I would want them to have good social skills. They can function in a as a team, feel that they are part of a team, and then just grow together with the team. So I would be looking at that quality in that person.
Okay. What would you tell somebody? So you have worked 3 different careers. What would you tell somebody else who maybe wanted to change careers? What advice would you give them?
I would tell them to research before they take that plunge, because it's not easy to just be well settled in a career and just start from the scratch, because I've done that. In terms of paycheck, in terms of the position. So one day you are making top dollar, and you're you're somebody, and then next thing you just change your career. Nobody knows, and you just start from the bottom. So first thing is that do your research, that this is really what you want to do, and then just incorporate everything that you've learned in your previous jobs and try to use that in your new career. And then don't have this mindset, oh, I was a manager here and now I'm working as a like a receptionist or whatever. Like no job is more like better than the other. It's just that
Right.
you kind of have to leave that ego aside, that okay, I'm learning something new, I'm here for a reason. I switched careers because I made that decision, because of the research that I did, and then just have that zeal to learn and grow.
Okay. So the last question, Angela, I'm telling Angela because she's rooting you on. It's all lies on this. You are hiring for your company right now.
Mm-hmm.
What type of employees are you looking for?
Somebody
What
who has
skills? what they have to have,
Uh-huh.
and characteristics?
So, of course, they have to be a master of their field. So, somebody who has certification, somebody who has education about, like let's say I'm looking for a strength coach or a physiotherapist. So, somebody who's a master of their field and has that nature of service, that they want to service a people, like a person, or not really going after the money, because money is going to come. Are you a master of your craft? That's what I'm looking for. And once you're there, if I see that passion in you, I have no doubt, because it has happened with me, then clients will come, money will come, you'll be more successful. But do you have that right skill set to be successful in that role?
Okay. Give it up for Tarun. He made it through the hot seat. Show him some love today. You are hired. I would hire you.
Thank you
Show him
so
some
much.
love today. So send him those hearts. So tell them what you do and how they can reach you, get in contact with you.
So I'm a fitness professional. I am a certified personal trainer and also a nutrition coach. The best way to reach me is via Instagram. I'm working on my website right now. And I am like the whole soul of the business right now. So me and my partner, just are working on this simultaneously while having a full-time job. And most of my business is right now online. I'm training people across different countries, across different time zones. So somebody wants to take their fitness or their nutrition to the next level, or even just get started, you can contact me at my handle on Instagram, and I will reach out to you. And then we'll take it from there.
All right. If you're following me, you should be following Tarun right now. Go follow him and check him out. Thank you so much for coming on the live.
Thank you so much. Now I can breathe easy.
Now you can breathe easy.